Hi, this is John Doe, aka Frag to the DNB Academy, and this is the sound we're gonna be making today. Yeah, this is it. So yeah, let's flip the screen and get right into Serum. Alright, we're gonna keep it fundamental here. We're gonna start with something really simple. So we're gonna load in our basic shapes, right? Not that the default shapes wouldn't work, but you know, again, this is old habits die hard, you know, from Serum 1, so bear with me. Let's bring this into a basic sine wave, you know, that's all we need for this one. It should sound something like, you know, a pure sub. This is kind of what we need for this one. And then we're gonna get Oscillator B into the mix, also random phase down to 0, and also select our basic shapes, you know, and just set this one into a saw wave, okay? And for this one, we also gonna use on the alternative warping, we're gonna choose the bend plus and negative. Well, it sounds something like this. But we're gonna go into some FM because we're gonna make some deep stuff. So we don't wanna really hear this basic shape, the sine wave, the saw wave in this case, because we're gonna just use it for FM purposes. So let's do some FM from B, all right? And just give it a small taste of how it sounds like. Cool, but what if we bring this one octave lower? Interesting. What about 2? Yeah, that's more of what I'm talking about. So to make this even more interesting, I'm just gonna give it one more voice here and bring the detune to somewhere around like 0.4. So we have this, you see, this cool detune between both oscillators that gives the sound a really unique touch. Okay, so let's bring all these parameters down for now, because this is all going to be about movement, all right? So for that, we got to create our first envelope. In this case, it's going to be an LFO into a trigger mode, all right? So it's actually an LFO, not really an envelope, because we want this to kind of loop, even though we're going to make this like super slow, just as you can see, like a bar long. And we're going to make like a pretty standard shape. It's not going to be anything that fancy, you know, it's just something like this, you know, that goes on a maybe a bit more of a progress here. It goes like in the ramp, then goes down. And we got to assign this one to the FM, also to the bend plus and negative, and we're gonna keep this one just as it is, but this one we're gonna make it like pretty much like 35%. That should be the limit. See, that's the effect we want. We want it to almost be playing all the time with the FM on, but then slowly go down in like in this downward ramp progress here. All right, so for now, this is all we're gonna do with this LFO, but now we're gonna need to step in with our LFO2 to make things even more interesting. This one, we're gonna make it envelope, because again, I made the other one a trigger, like an actual LFO, but we're gonna play this almost like as a stab, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna break this down to 2 notes, and then just gonna make like a wobble, sort of like a standard wobble shape, you know what I mean? Nothing, again, that's special. Just want to make this one a little bit louder than this one. All right. And then this one is going to be really important because of these 2 parameters that we actually going to turn on right now. First one is going to be the noise. I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to the color and have Geiger noise here. And bring the level down. Assign this one here. Increase the stereo up to 50%. All right, cool. And now we're going to turn on our filter. And we're going to assign the noise and oscillator A, which are the only ones we're actually using. And we're going to choose from the miscellaneous folder distcomb1LP. That's going to be our filter. And we're going to set the cutoff around like 50 hertz, even less, like 20 hertz, and assign our LFO to it and make it end around 50%, like in this case, 1K. It's a matter of trying because we want to leave that noise to breathe a little bit, right? So now let's increase the comb to 39 and also send this here but this time we're gonna send it like to 60, from 39 to 60. So it picks up on those harmonics, really cool, but we need more volume. So we can either increase the main, but before that, we can always give it a shot to the drive here. So it helps to bring all those frequencies up, and also can go over our main and increase it. But don't forget, we're gonna process it further, so let's not overdo this bit. Okay, so now the movement is pretty much done. We've got like the stab we wanted. Right, we just need to process this a little bit. So let's flip the screen and get into it. Okay, first things first, we're gonna EQ it, because I want to do some pre-distortion EQ to pick up on some of these cool harmonics we got on our low mids, like this. We can turn on our, see, it's like somewhere around here. I want to make this move a little bit. Something like this should do the trick. And also on this one, I'm going to notch it down around the usual spot, like 500 hertz. See, something like this. And now I'm actually going to distort it. We can go both ways. We can overdrive this, we can tube, or we can hard clip, which I feel like is the best for this sort of sound. Look. But I always give it a shot, like overdrive. Just too aggressive for what we're looking for. And the tube, a bit too bland. So I feel like hard clip should be our choice. I'm gonna bring down the main a little bit down so we can crank this up a little bit better. Nice. Now we're gonna add a little bit of chorus. I'll just bring down the mix, increase the low pass, less depth, super fast rate, super slow rate, I mean. All right, cool. Then we're gonna add a little bit of compression, increase the gain, and turn this into multiband. Let's get the lows first. A little bit of the mids. And the tops. I can actually just boost them a bit here, the compression amount. Cool. So let's just play a little bit with the way that the filter ends on the cutoff, the noise amount, the comp frequency here. Nice. Even the band plus, if we start around here, the FM amount from our see, like plenty of stuff we can do to make sounds more interesting, and they're all about like minor changes just like this. So yeah, this is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.